You look up at the night sky, and the moon is brighter, bigger. For the first few days, nobody panics. It's beautiful. People gather on beaches to watch the brilliant, oversized moon affect the tides, bringing the water a little closer with each cycle. It becomes an internet sensation, a breathtaking, celestial event. But this isn't a science fiction movie. This is the first frame of the most terrifying film you could ever imagine. This is what you would actually see if the moon started to fall, and the view is the last beautiful thing you'll see for a very long time. Because the end doesn't start with a cataclysmic impact. It starts with a whisper, a change in the water, a madness in the animals, and a simple, terrifying realization: our closest celestial neighbor has just become a doomsday clock. Before we witness the fall, we have to understand why it shouldn't be falling at all. The moon stays in the sky because of a delicate dance between gravity and velocity. Imagine throwing a ball. It flies forward, but Earth's gravity constantly pulls it down, creating an arc. Now imagine you could throw that ball at over 2,200 miles per hour. It would travel so fast horizontally that as it fell, the Earth would curve away beneath it. It would fall around the Earth forever. That is an orbit. For 4.5 billion years, the moon has been our perfect dance partner, held in place by its immense sideways speed. For it to simply stop and fall would break the fundamental laws of physics. So, for our scenario, we must imagine something has pushed it. A rogue cosmic object, a magical spell, it doesn't matter. The dance is over, and the one-year-long fall has begun. The moon is more than just a light. It's our planet's anchor. Earth spins on a tilted axis of 25.5 degrees, and the moon's consistent gravitational pull acts like a gyroscope, stabilizing this wobble. This stability is what gives us our predictable seasons and a climate where complex life can flourish. In the first month, as the moon covers the first fraction of its 230,000-mile journey, these grand effects are not yet felt. Instead, the signs are subtle, easily dismissed. The tides are a little higher, a little stronger. Strange creatures from the deep, like giant squid and anglerfish who thrive in crushing darkness, are now found washed ashore, their bodies unable to handle the changing pressures. Then, the animals on land start to act strange. Birds, who use the moon's reliable position to navigate their migrations, stop flying south. They gather in huge, confused swarms over cities, flying with no purpose, their internal compasses shattered. In the boundless waters, ship captains notice their own compasses are now unstable, the needle pointing in different directions. The Earth's magnetic poles are shifting under the moon's increasing influence. The ecosystem is the first to scream that something is fundamentally, cosmically wrong. By the end of the second month, the moon has covered 2/3 of the distance to Earth. Strange beauty is replaced by global chaos. The tides are no longer a curiosity, they are a weapon. The moon's gravity is now so intense that ocean tides swell to 4, then 10, then 30 meters. Twice every single day, the world's coastlines are assaulted. You're walking down a city street, miles from the coast, when you notice people running. You take off your headphones and hear screams and sirens. You hear a strange noise, a deep, rumbling roar. It's the sound of water. A huge wave is flooding the streets, heading straight for you. You run into a tall building and get to the 10th floor. From there, you watch as a tsunami, 30 stories high, scours the city clean. Cars, trees, and entire buildings are swept away like toys. This isn't just one wave. It's a twice-daily assault that erases civilization from the map. The world's great coastal cities, New York, London, Tokyo, home to over 1 billion people, are rendered uninhabitable. Their populations become refugees, forced to flee inland to already strained resources. This is the start of society's collapse. With the world's ports submerged, global shipping grinds to a halt. The complex supply chains that stock our shelves with food, medicine, and fuel are severed. Shortages become famines. Then, the modern world goes dark. The undersea fiber optic cables that carry 95% of our global data have their terminals on the coasts. They are now submerged and useless. The internet, global finance, long-distance communication, all of it is gone in an instant. The world is fragmented into isolated pockets of chaos. Salt water from the oceans begins leaching deep into the land, contaminating the freshwater aquifers we need to survive. In the drowning cities, a grim new rhythm emerges. Hours of scavenging for supplies during the eerie, exposed landscape of low tide, followed by a desperate retreat to the upper floors of high-rises when the ocean inevitably returns. And all the while, you look up. The moon now covers a huge part of the sky, a monstrous cratered ceiling. It's so close that its gravity is now pulling on the planet's rotation itself, shortening the days. The sun and moon are both visible in a sky that no longer feels like our own. The 5-month mark. The water can rise no higher, but the moon's pull only grows stronger. The apocalypse now enters a new, more terrible phase. It is no longer just pulling at our oceans. It's pulling at the very ground beneath our feet. And the planet is starting to break. The squeezing creates enormous stress on the tectonic plates. This isn't about fault lines anymore. The entire crust of the Earth is being flexed like a piece of plastic. The result is earthquakes of unimaginable magnitude, striking randomly across the globe. The planet's highest mountains break and crumble into piles of stone. This immense pressure on the Earth's crust awakens the planet's sleeping giants. The Ring of Fire, a belt of 450 volcanoes circling the Pacific Ocean that accounts for 75% of Earth's volcanic output, erupts in a devastating planet-wide chain reaction. But it's the supervolcanoes, like Yellowstone, that deliver the killing blow to the climate. Long thought dormant, they now explode with a force that dwarfs any nuclear weapon. Clouds of volcanic ash, thick and black, are thrown high into the stratosphere. They cover the sun and the glowing moon, plunging the world into a dark, suffocating, rust-red twilight. The air, now thick with sulfur, becomes difficult to breathe. The rain that falls is a black sludge of mud and volcanic acid. This planetary blanket of aerosols reflects sunlight back into space, triggering a rapid and severe global cooling event, a volcanic winter. Summer snows begin to fall as acid rain poisons what little agricultural land remains untouched by the floods. The planet is cracking under the strain. The end is no longer a flood. It is the complete, agonizing unraveling of our world. We are in the final days. The moon is no longer in the sky. It is the sky. It now sits at the distance of the International Space Station, a terrifying, silent ceiling over the world, blocking out the stars and casting half the planet in its permanent shadow. The gravity is now so intense that on the side of the Earth facing the moon, objects begin to feel lighter. On the ground, what's left of humanity knows the end is here. There is no rescue, no miracle mission from NASA. The math is absolute. For the billions who have survived the floods and the fire, there is nothing left to do but watch the sky fall. There are only final hours with the people you love. But as you watch this impossible sight, something strange begins to happen. To the moon, you notice giant, deep cracks appearing on its surface, glowing from within with the heat of friction and stress. It's being pulled into the shape of a grotesque egg. The sheer force of Earth's gravity is now stronger than the moon's own, and it is beginning to tear our tormentor apart from the inside out. There is a point in space around any large celestial body called the Roche Limit. For Earth, it lies at a distance of approximately 11,100 miles. It is the invisible line of celestial execution. This limit exists because of tidal forces. Gravity gets weaker with distance. This means Earth's gravity is pulling on the near side of the Moon much more strongly than it's pulling on the far side. When the Moon is far away, its own internal gravity is strong enough to resist this differential pull and hold itself together. But when it crosses the Roche limit, the tidal forces of Earth become catastrophically stronger than the Moon's gravitational glue, and in its final, silent moment, the Moon surrenders. It slowly begins to divide. The surface crumbles. Both halves stretch and then shatter into hundreds of large pieces, then thousands, then millions. It's falling apart. In a spectacle of terrible, cosmic beauty, our natural satellite disintegrates into 1 trillion tons of space rock. The immediate threat of impact is over. The planet has been saved by the very laws of physics that threatened to destroy it. The Moon never hit us. In its final moments, it was torn apart, giving Earth a final, breathtaking, and lethal gift, a crown of brilliant, shimmering rings in the sky, a sight more beautiful and terrifying than any full moon could ever be. Any survivors are treated to a view of tremendous arches spanning the sky, glimmering in the sunlight, illuminating the night sky with a soft, ethereal glow called ring shine. But this new beauty is a death sentence. Immediately, the millions of fragments, from dust particles to asteroid-sized rocks, begin to rain down, not settling into a stable orbit for tens of thousands of years. What's left of civilization is now under a constant, deadly meteor shower. This ring of debris acts as a barrier, destroying any satellites that might have survived, permanently ending our age of communication and exploration. We are trapped on a dying world. Worse, the rings cast enormous shadows across the planet, drastically reducing the sunlight that reaches the surface. This, combined with the lingering volcanic aerosols, sends the global cooling event into overdrive. Photosynthesis fails on a planetary scale. Plants and the ocean's phytoplankton die, causing the food chain to collapse, and more slowly, the very oxygen in our atmosphere to deplete. The collision was avoided, but Earth is now a cold, dark world, trapped beneath a beautiful shroud of its own moon. The Moon is gone, but its ghost now encircles our planet. It is a monument to how close we came to the end, and a chilling reminder of the fragile balance that allows us to exist at all. Our planet may have shattered its moon, but please don't shatter our analytics. A subscription is way less destructive and infinitely more appreciated. Thanks for watching.